Did you know honey never spoils? Archaeologists found jars of it in ancient Egyptian tombs that are thousands of years old and still perfectly edible. Get ready, because we're about to dive into 10 crazy food facts that will completely blow your mind. First up, let's talk more about that amazing honey. Why doesn't it ever go bad? It's all about its unique chemical makeup. Honey is a sugar, and sugars are hygroscopic, which means they contain very little water in their natural state. This low moisture content is an inhospitable environment for bacteria and other microorganisms that cause food to spoil. Additionally, honey is naturally very acidic, with a pH level between 3 and 4.5. This acidity further inhibits the growth of almost anything that might try to live in it. And if that wasn't enough, bees add an enzyme called glucose oxidase when they regurgitate nectar into the honeycomb. When honey is diluted, this enzyme produces hydrogen peroxide, which is basically a natural disinfectant. So, the next time you see a jar of honey crystallize, don't throw it away. Just warm it up, and it's as good as new. It's a true testament to the incredible power of nature. Next, let's get fruity. Or should I say berry-wise? Here's a mind bender for you. Botanically speaking, bananas are berries, but strawberries are not. I know, it sounds completely backward, right? In botany, a berry is a fleshy fruit produced from a single ovary of a single flower. This definition includes fruits like grapes, kiwis, avocados, and yes, even bananas and watermelons. Their seeds are enclosed within the fleshy part of the fruit. On the other hand, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries are what botanists call aggregate fruits. They develop from a single flower that has multiple ovaries. Each tiny little seed on the outside of a strawberry is actually its own separate fruit, called an achene, which contains a single seed inside it. So, the strawberry isn't a single fruit, but a collection of many tiny fruits all clumped together. So the next time you're making a fruit salad, you can impress your friends with this bizarre botanical fact. Moving on to a classic condiment. Did you know that ketchup was once sold as medicine? Back in the 1830s, a doctor in Ohio named John Cook Bennett began selling ketchup in pill form. He claimed that his tomato pills could cure a whole range of ailments, from indigestion and diarrhea to jaundice and rheumatism. At the time, tomatoes were believed to have all sorts of medicinal properties. Dr. Bennett published recipes for ketchup that were rich in vitamins and antioxidants from the tomatoes. His idea became incredibly popular, and soon, other copycat brands started popping up, selling their own versions of tomato pills. Unfortunately, many of these imitators were shams, selling pills that contained no tomato at all and making wild, unsubstantiated claims. This eventually led to the collapse of the entire ketchup as medicine market by the 1850s. It was until the late 19th century that ketchup was reinvented as the condiment we know and love today. Ever wonder why apples bob around in a bucket of water? Here's a fun fact: apples float because they are about 25% air. That's right, a quarter of an apple's volume is just empty space. This air is trapped in the tiny pockets between the apple cells. When you bite into a crisp, juicy apple, that satisfying crunch is actually the sound of those air pockets bursting. This high air content makes apples less dense than water, causing them to float. It's the same principle that allows giant steel ships to float on the ocean. The density of the object is less than the density of the water it displaces. So, the next time you're apple picking, you can try it out for yourself. It's the reason why the game bobbing for apples is even possible. Without all that air, the apples would just sink straight to the bottom. Now for a fact that's out of this world. What was the first vegetable ever grown in space? It was the humble potato. In 1995, NASA and the University of Wisconsin collaborated on a project to grow potatoes aboard the Space Shuttle Columbia. This wasn't just for a fun experiment. It was a crucial step in understanding how to cultivate food for long-duration space missions, like a future trip to Mars. Astronauts need a reliable source of fresh food, and potatoes are perfect. They are highly nutritious, packed with calories, vitamins, and minerals. They're also relatively easy to grow. The experiment was a success, proving that plants could be grown in a microgravity environment. These space spuds paved the way for growing other vegetables like lettuce and radishes on the International Space Station. So potatoes aren't just a staple on Earth, they're pioneers of space agriculture. All right, we're halfway through. If your mind is as blown as mine, don't forget to hit that like button, share this with your friends, and subscribe for more amazing facts. It really helps the channel out. Thanks, you're awesome. Now, let's talk about something sweet. We think of money as paper or coins, but what if it was chocolate? For the ancient Aztec civilization, it was. Cacao beans, the raw ingredient for chocolate, were so highly valued in Aztec society that they were used as currency. These beans were considered a gift from the gods and were a symbol of wealth and power. You could use cacao beans to buy just about anything. For example, a single tomato might cost 1 cacao bean, while a large turkey could be worth around 200 beans. They were used to pay taxes and tribute to the emperor. The Aztecs would also grind the beans to create a bitter, frothy drink called zocolate, which was reserved for warriors, nobility, and priests. So, the next time you're enjoying a chocolate bar, remember that you're literally eating something that was once as valuable as gold. Let's dig into our next fact. When you picture a carrot, you probably think of the color orange. But did you know that carrots were originally purple? For centuries, carrots came in a variety of colors, including purple, white, yellow, and red, but orange was not one of them. The wild ancestors of the carrot, which were first domesticated in Persia and Anatolia around the 10th century, were purple and yellow. The orange carrot we know today is actually a relatively modern invention. It was developed in the Netherlands in the 17th century by Dutch growers. The story goes that they cultivated the orange variety as a tribute to William of Orange, who led the Dutch revolt against Spain. These new orange carrots were sweeter and less woody than their purple counterparts, and they quickly became popular across Europe. While you can still find heirloom purple and yellow carrots today, the Dutch creation became the global standard. Here's another one that might make you question everything you thought you knew about your snacks. Peanuts are not actually nuts. That's right, the main ingredient in peanut butter is an imposter. Botanically, peanuts belong to the legume family, which also includes beans, lentils, and peas. True nuts, like walnuts, hazelnuts, and pecans, are hard-shelled fruits that grow on trees and do and split open on their own to release their seeds. Peanuts, on the other hand, grow underground and have a soft, brittle shell that splits into 2 halves. They are essentially the edible seeds of a pea-like plant. The nut in peanut is just a common culinary term, not a botanical one. So, while we all call them nuts, and they're often grouped with nuts in stores and recipes, science says they're officially part of the bean team. And speaking of botanical misnomers, let's talk about our morning fuel. Coffee beans aren't beans at all. Just like peanuts aren't nuts, coffee beans are actually seeds. They are the pits found inside the small, bright red or purple fruits called coffee cherries. Each cherry typically contains 2 seeds face to face. When coffee cherries are harvested, they go through a process to remove the outer pulp and fruit layers to get to the precious seeds inside. These seeds are then dried, roasted, and ground to make the coffee we drink. The term bean was likely adopted simply because the seeds look a lot like traditional beans. So, the next time you're brewing your morning cup, you can think of it as a seed-based beverage. It sounds a bit less appealing, but it's a scientific truth. For our final fact, we're delving into the world of crime. What do you think is the most stolen food item in the world? It's not candy or expensive cuts of meat. It's cheese. Believe it or not, according to global studies, as much as 4% of all the cheese produced in the world is stolen. This makes it the top target for food thieves. Why cheese? Well, it can be quite expensive, especially artisanal varieties. It's also relatively small and easy to conceal. There's a big black market for stolen cheese, where it's sold to restaurants or smaller shops at a discount. The problem is so widespread that some high-end cheese producers have even started putting microchips in their cheese wheels to track them. So, the next time you're at the deli counter, keep an eye on that block of Parmesan. It's a hot commodity. And there you have it, 10 crazy food facts that probably made you rethink your entire pantry. From honey that lasts forever to criminal cheese, the world of food is full of surprises. Which fact blew your mind the most? Let me know in the comments below. If you're hungry for more fun trivia and fascinating facts, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.